Welcome back to the High Speed Garage. Thank you to Contrast Printing and Riverstone Radiators for keeping this garage open. Don't forget, you can find us on the socials, Instagram, YouTube, and make sure you join the HSG Pit Stop on Facebook. I'm today's host, Hayden Chesser. I'm here with the boys, Michael Newton and Joel Mason. How are we?
Not bad. Good.
Rightio. So beside us, we have a special guest, Stuart Arthy from Gold Coast Powerboat Club. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Very good. Unfortunately, you've brought us a gift.
I have. I have indeed.
So,
Unfortunately.
usually we have a bit of a New Zealand couple of shots. And Stuart stepped it up a little bit this afternoon. We're here with a couple of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, mate. That's the way.
Yeah.
Sensational.
Not a fan.
Just as what I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sook it.
All right.
Yeah, no sooking.
All right, so we go clunk.
Oops.
That's everywhere.
I've never tasted something so delicious in my life.
Ah, beautiful.
They are absolutely delicious. They are full of bad decisions, but
Yeah.
I freaking love them.
They don't actually taste that bad.
No,
Yuck.
I love a good Jaeger bomb.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Lucky
Go and
I've
get another
got
4
a
cans
nice,
out of my esky and we could go again.
lucky I've got a nice cold Jackie to wash that down.
Do you want another one?
All right, so sorry to Rob for his floor. We'll have to clean that up a little bit later.
That was a bit of fun.
Rightio. So, Stu, we're here celebrating the Laidley Powerfest getting the round 2 of the NDC.
Nailed it.
Yeah. No, words are hard. That's me.
Maybe you should drink less, Hayden.
Drink more, drink less. I'm just as shit both times.
Shouldn't start at 7 in the morning like we told you not to.
Yeah. No, I just do what I'm told, not what I do what I want, not what I'm told. Rightio. Let's bring this back into line. First of all, I'd like to sort of work out who you are, Stu. What's your background in powerboat racing?
Well, it's been involved powerboat racing 30 years this year. So I started off crewing for Jeff Tompkins and Iron Nuts.
Cracking bloke.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, that was initially like my motorsport background. Like I started off working on cars, so did my apprenticeship as a mechanic, and then I got a job at a tyre and suspension centre, and yeah, we were doing Group NC, sedans and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Group NC racing at Mustangs and XY Falcons and stuff like that, Tiranas. And I had a good mate of mine said, he goes, "Oh, I got another mate. He goes, but he does boat racing." He goes, "He's just always chasing pit crew." And I'm like, "Boat racing?" He goes, "Yeah, like ski boats."
What's that?
Yeah, what the fuck's that? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll tell him, put me down." Very first race meeting I went to was Deepwater.
Oh, yeah.
Spectacular.
Wow.
I'm like 22 years old, and I'm there going, I'm standing on the rocks going, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome. Give me some of this action."
Welcome to powerboat racing in the creek.
Yeah. And it's like, that's it. I was hooked. Like first experience. Yep, I'm hooked, man. This is me. And I reckon I did probably after that first event, I probably did another 3 or 4 car events after that. And then I just went, nah.
It's not exciting.
It's got nothing. Got nothing.
There's no one running up mangroves here.
Yeah, and like I've done some stuff. Like I've done Oran Park. We've done bloody Bathurst twice. So like we've done some pretty cool shit with the cars, but nothing like boat racing. Nothing, just nothing. And standing on those rocks at Deepwater when you got like Walshy and stuff going past, doing 125, 130 mile an hour back then. Like that was fast back then. And you just standing there rocks it, and you can feel the thumping coming out of the zoomies, and you're like, this is the shit. There ain't nothing better. So
You look down inside the boat from up there on the rocks.
Yeah. So, and then I think the second event I went to was like 4 or 5 weeks later was St. George Spectacular.
Yeah.
It's just like same thing. It's like, this is unreal.
Yeah.
And we're upstairs, Ian and myself, we're upstairs in the St George Motorboat Club, drinking with all these like guys in white suits and shit. We're these two hobos from Queensland. We're like, oh man, we don't fit in, eh? We don't fit in at all. But anyway, that was my introduction into boat racing. So, and then just crewed for Jeff the whole way through. Went everywhere. So unfortunately, like these guys don't stick around forever.
No.
So.
Nah.
You were down in Tassie.
No, I wasn't. So my wife Bex and myself, we were booked to go the next weekend because it was two weekends.
Back,
it was two back to back, and I couldn't get enough time off work, so we were booked a weekend after, and we still went down. So because he would want us to go down, so we still went down, had a holiday, but it just wasn't the same, So, but yeah.
His two boys. His two boys are growing up into some pretty cool dudes.
Oh yeah, both of them. Yeah, they're a pair of units. Like I remember seeing Nick and Jack running around. As bloody 2 and 3 year olds. Running around, and then to see them now, they're a pair of units. Absolutely. Nick's the funniest guy.
Yeah.
He is an absolute comedian.
He's doing a fair bit with filming and
he's
playing
a
around
stuntman.
and stuff.
Yeah, he's a stuntman. Yeah. He does stuntman at bloody Movie World Gold Coast. Yeah.
I haven't seen Jack for a long time.
Yeah. Jack drives a truck. I don't know who he's working for now, but he's drives a truck. He's basically just like Jeff.
Just sliding into life.
Yeah. And if you ever seen Nick's kid, because Nick's a dad now, and you look at him, this young kid, his son, and he's like, it's a mini Jeff. He's got this mullet. It's like, you just sit there going, oh my God,
I hope he ends up getting Jeff's laugh because that was so good.
I
love Jeff's laugh. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that big giggle.
So that was my introduction into boat racing, and then I've just stuck with it ever since. And then when my kids were growing up, because they sort of grew up with Jack and Nick as well, and I said to Crystal, the daughter, and I said, you want to go boat racing? She was like 10 years old, and she's like, yeah. So
it's in the blood.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it just gets in there, gets infected.
Yep.
And so bought a junior boat, sent her boat racing, and then she was AFPGP champion when she was in J3.
Yeah, nice.
So that was when she was 15 years old, and then she was like, "Got to get me boat license. Got to get me boat license." And I sort of went out and went, "Well, I'll buy a 4.2." So I bought a 4.2 for myself. And then she got a boat license, and then so we used to double team 4.2 up in Bundy. So it'd do 8 races a day. We just pound this thing all day.
You race the same boat?
Yeah, same boat.
Oh,
yeah. So I'd race inboard A, and she'd race inboard B. Yep. And and then she was like, did that for probably 6 months, and she's like, I've got to get a boat. And it just happened that Scotty Patterson's old 4.2 come up for sale.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
the old bloody.
Mayhem
boat.
Yeah.
Cause of mayhem. And we bought that and put her in it. And and then she was Australian champion in 4.2.
It did look really good with the pink sign right now. I reckon that was really cool touch.
Yeah. And she's a mum now, so she's out of it for a bit. But anyway, she'll be back.
Come back.
Yeah, she'll be back.
She was a good driver.
Yeah, no.
You can build her a nice new boat.
Yeah, I know, you can now. Yeah.
And I've got two little girls, and Mick's got a little girl, and so does Joel. And I'm all for girls going racing. Don't tell them that they can't do shit. They can do it as long as they've got the heart.
Yeah.
Mate, nothing stops them.
Yeah.
So I love seeing girls
Krista's
going out on the racetrack.
She's got her own ready-made family as well. So Ivy, the eldest one, we just built her a junior boat.
Yep.
And bloody. She just won last weekend or weekend before at Somerset.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
So last year at Laidley, so she did good at Laidley last year, racing J2. So she's still in J2. I think she's got another 12 months before she can go to J3. But, I probably have to build a 15 horsepower. Anyway, here's what it is.
Yeah. So, you're part of the Gold Coast Powerboat Club.
Yep.
So how did you get involved in that?
Well, I became a member once when Jeff was racing, and I've just been a member ever since. And just, helping out in the background, and then just get, more and more involved as the years go by, and sort of talk myself into becoming, vice commodore, and then, Craig Lewis, he's been the commodore for bloody 10 years or something or other, and I think he was just feeling a bit burnt out himself, which is understandable.
He just threw the lasso.
Just
around.
He just had enough, really, and just went to step away and start racing properly.
Yeah. He wanted to spend more time racing because, there's so much involved being a commodore. It's not just a 5-minute walk in the park.
There's
a lot of stuff
phone calls every night. And
and he just chucked me the keys and, tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's been good. So this is my second year as Commodore.
Yeah, so you have been enjoying it?
No, it's been good. No, it's been good.
That's good. Someone a bit of enthusiasm into a club to keep going.
You can't, no matter who you are, you can't do any events without your team.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Like Crystal's the secretary, and, so Craig is still the treasurer, although I think Susan probably does more of it than Craig does. But,
100%.
But, Crystal's pretty good in that department, and got my brother Davey and his missus Danny. So Danny's sort of our PR, and she does a lot of Facebook stuff.
You need a lot of that social media now.
Yeah.
It's so useful.
And so I'm not on Facebook. I don't do no social media. It's like I got too much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But she's right into it.
Yeah,
so
no,
she does that
we're
stuff.
silly enough to jump into the Facebook, and it just starts to.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks you in. So it's just easier for me not to be involved.
This episode is brought to you by Riverstone Radiators and Fabrication in Walker Street, South Windsor, specialising in automotive plant and transport cooling solutions. They can repair copper, brass and alloy radiators and intercoolers. Contact the office on 02 9627 4657. Local pickup and delivery service available to trade customers. So, you guys are running as the Gold Coast Powerboat Club, you guys are running the Lockyer Power Fest.
Yep.
So, how long have you guys how long's that been running?
So since 2011, we started off. Ran till 2015 at Lake Dyer, same venue, but the water level was getting pretty low, and then Craig had aspirations then for running the Liquid Lightning down the Gold Coast, which we did.
Cracking venue.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome venue. Problem is, it's
everything else
that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And the fact that now
big expense.
Yeah, and now that venue's full of sand. So
after the floods and whatnot.
it just fills up with sand. So unless the government's going to step in and go, let's pay some dredgers to come in and dredge it right out, it's never going to happen again.
But they really don't. The government, realistically, as a whole, they don't really care about going powerboat racing.
No.
And that spit area is known as, they put a whole heap of just boats living there.
Yeah, well, it is actually a designated marine stadium. That area is designated for water sport activity. If you look on the Town Planning Act, because Dave Garner, I don't know, you guys know Dave?
No.
Yep. In our crew, so he was involved back in Gold Coast Powerboat Club forever. He's one of the, not a founding father, but he's been there forever. Anyway, he was sort of saying that back when that was actually designed, it was designed as a boat racing venue or for sports activities, water skiing, jet skis, all that sort of stuff. And if it's still on there, listed in the Town Planning Act as a water sport stadium. So
realistically, the council should be interested in clearing the bay out and making it so things can happen, whether it's... Well, realistically, councils are pretty keen on rowers. I don't know why, but
don't get me started.
Yeah, but why not? Why not sort of hit them at? Well, here's a rowing venue.
Yeah.
Make it so it's available for rowing, and we'll give you a hand and we'll run at a venue there too.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that would not be considered something that what they want to keep pushing, because it keeps the joint clean. Like if you've got powerboats going on that track, it's going to rustle up all that sand as well. It's going to make it a little bit easier for them. Yeah, if they dredge it, it'll make it wider as well.
Yeah, it's too shallow at the moment. It's on the spit side. It's too shallow. It's only like sort of 300, 400 mil deep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. That is,
It's a bit sketchy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We were up at the Liquid Lightning event.
Yeah.
When was that? 16?
2016.
Yeah.
Took Brennan's boat
awesome.
up there.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool watching those Kiwis run them GPI planes around
absolutely.
there. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was running the Gen 3 boat, and I think I was just being lazy, the reason why I didn't take the boat up there.
Yeah.
And I knew there was a dumb idea when we decided not to go.
Yeah.
And we're nearly 10 years later, and I'm still regretting not taking the boat up there. So,
it's easily like we had, like I was racing back then, so we had 9 4.2s at that event. So we had to run two heats because you couldn't have 9 in one go.
Yeah.
And just fantastic. You know, I just remember that from a racer's point of view, and just go, man, this is the shit. This is awesome. You know, and we sort of tried to set it up so that because there was in our team, like there's myself, my younger brother Davey, and there was Crystal. So we had 3 4.2s from our own family. It's like we sort of got to try and split the crew up because we just couldn't handle it. You couldn't back trailers in and, you know, getting boats in and out and all the rest of it. So we had to sort of make sure that we were all split up, and we couldn't just draw ourselves in all one race because we'd never be able to function.
Yeah.
You know?
We had the same problem when we were running the quick trip boat, Desperado boat, the True the Wicked boat.
Yeah.
Three boats.
Three boats, just fucking hard
It was
work.
only 2 drivers, but it was still painful.
Yeah, and you're getting boats in and out.
Yeah.
You're trying to jump in. You're trying to run down the shore in a full kit, and then jump in a 4-wheel drive and back a trailer in, and you got a bloody helmet on. And
was you involved
life
with the club at that point as well?
Sorry?
Was you involved with the club at that point as well?
Yeah.
So you're still trying to do event management stuff as well as run boats. Yeah, that's difficult.
I spent that whole week basically down the coast. Just took that week off work. You know, it's just something that you got to do. It's the same with Laidley. You just take the whole week off work.
Yeah,
you just can't. You can't physically do it.
It doesn't function properly.
But there's just so much going on.
You've got all that going on, and then lo and behold, you have a problem, which that's just part of motorsport. You're going to have something to fix.
That's right.
And then when you've got something to fix, then that crew's got to concentrate on that. You can't run everything else at the same time. It just puts a big load on everyone.
And you're trying to watch some races too, because that's part of the point, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know,
I love this sport, but I also want to be involved. It's hard to do two things at once.
I always find myself, I'd come in my boat and then I'd just basically just beach it on the sand and then jump out, and then I'd be running down the beach down to the jetty so I could watch Crystal race, you know, and I'm standing there fully kitted watching her race and just leave my boat there. It'll drift out to the sea, whatever. You know, just leave it there, got to watch this, you know, and then jumping, you know, stripping off and then getting into a car and loading boats up and back to the pits. And it was hectic. I lost 3 kilos in 2 days.
Shit.
Let's go boat racing more. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
we've had the same problem with people don't even watch a race for 2 days. Sitting in a car or whatever it is. Just
That's why
people like to sacrifice.
That's why I love racing at Windsor.
Yeah.
If I can get the parking spot we normally get, you at least park there, and then everyone's busy working on the boat, and you're like, nah, this is a race I want to go and watch, and everyone just runs, watches it, and then comes back and works. You're like, at least you're close enough to the track.
I used to love that with Jeff, you know, like you'd race at Windsor and you'd drop the boat in, and then if no one else was behind you and you could afford to leave the car down there in the little layaway bay, you'd just launch it over the hill so you could watch the racing. If not, you'd be screaming around, park the car, and then launch it across through the pit so you could watch the racing. You know,
like we do love this sport, but we're also involved. It's sort of hard to. We want to be a spectator, but also want to go racing. It's hard to sort of pull it in. So we'll pull it back to Laidley. The venue you guys are running at the moment, you guys are a little bit different. You run a triangle track. What do you guys reckon the benefits of running that sort of course over the traditional oval.
It's different. It's different.
It's definitely different.
And that's the main thing. Like, you know, you got to sort of look at being good at your sport. You got to be able to handle everything. Like, not every.
Got to be able to have boat set up.
Differences are awesome, eh?
Yeah.
If every track's all the same guy wins everywhere all the time. Yeah. That's awesome to have different stuff. That's part of the reason I liked going to Laidley. So I went to Laidley's first event with my little 5-litre boat. But that back then it was an oval, but it was still a short oval, and that was pretty cool. I had some good success there, and then went back a few years later with the workhorse boat with a 6-litre and ran on the triangle, and that was awesome. Yeah. I just remembered the other boat that I ran up there was Oxygen Thief. I drove that in a race up there as well, and
we also drove Decision
on
up
the
there
triangle.
too for.
Yeah, I did.
One of the years.
Brent was nice enough to give me a go at a sailboat. That was my first turn at a sailboat, and he tried to get me enthusiastic about getting a cockpit and all that stuff. So I jumped in that after the race and just did a couple of little laps up and down the track. And that was awesome. That was my introduction to sailboats, which was sweet.
I drove the workhorse boat up there in the last lately.
Was it last year?
Last year, the year before.
Must have been the year before. Yeah.
Whenever it was, yeah. And that was completely different because the triangle track used to driving around an oval, and you turn and you're like, oh, hang on, I've got to stop turning.
You turn back on yourself normally, but that's you can hold more.
You can hold more corner speed.
Yeah.
Because
I tried that too.
You're only turning a 60 degree, not a 90 degree. Yeah, I know we run on a single buoy turn, but it's still you're not laying into that bloody 90 degree turn where you've got to set yourself up for a full complete 180. You know, you're just doing this bloody sort of a.
I still looped at first corner in the final. They sort of strategically placed me. You got to win it. Fuck, there's no pressure, guys. Yeah, right.
No pressure.
That's when
it's always the pressure that cooks it.
First corner, just too fast.
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun running around that track. I like it up there. It's a nice little small dam too, so you've got a shitload of space, but it's not too affected by wind and things like that. So
it is very sheltered. I think since we started running there, I think it's only been 1 year. It might have been 2014. We had a bit of wind, I think. Yeah. Every other year's been mint.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very, very sheltered. And
it got blown out. I was up there with Banksy.
Was that 2014?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fully blown out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think because that might.
We put all the boats in near the what's in the grassed area, backside of the VIP tent there.
Yeah. I think that might because 2014. That was the year I had my accident there. Oh, it wasn't my accident. Rob Peterson's accident.
Yeah, the hot lemon boat.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah.
I think it was a Sunday. I think that got blown out. I think. But anyway,
I think it was a Sunday. Yeah.
I think that may have been. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think you're up there. I went up with Banksy.
I was there. I remember Rod crashing the boat.
Yeah,
but
that might have been another year then.
I thought it may have been the year that I drove Oxygen Thief up there in
it might have been,
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, no, it was. Yeah, because we had the Prezzo in a different spot as well.
Yeah,
at the pub while all doing shots off the bar.
Yeah, that happens a bit, eh?
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, that happens a bit. Yeah.
So what's the where's the pub that you guys are doing your prezzo at this year?
So it'll be in Gatton this year, and it'll be in a conference centre rather than a pub.
Yeah. There are still beverages available.
Oh, absolutely. Good. Absolutely. Yeah. But it'll just be in Gatton this year. We decided to sort of move it away because last year we had it at Porter's, but we've had it at Forest Hill, we've had it at the QN in Laidley. So we sort of try and spread the business around a little bit. Share the love, yeah.
Do you get a bit of support off those pubs, of those venues?
Not much. It's been a bit hard.
I can guarantee you the venue actually gets supported by the venue, by the club running their venue there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a disappointment, actually. So, back in years gone by, there's been a lot better support, but the last few years it's been really tough. Now, I don't know whether it's, just the financial situation of pubs and that these days, but Still doesn't stop boat races from spending money at Prezzo.
No, we'll always drink the bar.
Yeah, that's right. Last year, I can tell you, last year was pretty hectic.
Well, what I've found with this NDC, that was a good crack.
Yeah,
I like that. What I've found with the NDC, when it turns up to a venue, it brings so many more people.
Yep.
So is that sort of the reason why you guys have decided to chase up the NDC?
Yeah, well, we got approached last year after our last Lockie Power Fest, 2024. So we got approached. Craig Stonner rang me and said that we'd be interested in running around in Queensland, and I was like, hell yeah.
Can't say no to that.
Absolutely. Just sort of backwards and forwards, and then with Rob Pasala and Craig Stonner, and just chatting about it, and then set ourselves up and did a couple of Zoom meetings with all the crew, and so here we are.
Pretty cool crew, like Rob Pasala, Craig Stonner, Sean Henshelwood.
Yeah, awesome.
Mate, there's some smart cookies there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Very passionate people running it.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what we need. Like in our sport, we need passionate people in the sport to make the sport move forward. Everybody has to be passionate, not just one or two people. Yeah. So we've got to channel that passion and love from those people into other people.
Yeah.
So that we can all push.
Need to flag it down to younger generations, say like us slot and then younger again.
Yeah.
Like our generation, but couple 10 years younger, say to build them up through the sport to keep it going. Otherwise, it's just going to 60-year-olds just
that's right.
fall over and that's it. It's done.
Like Crystal and I, we bounce, we talk every day, and we just bounce ideas. She's very passionate, and she comes up with so much stuff. And I think too with her work, the way what she does with her work, it's sort of switched her brain on to that sort of way of thinking as well. And some of the stuff she comes up to, I'm like, yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We need to make that happen.
Yeah. Because she'd be 10 years younger than us, not quite, or
26.
26, 10 years, a bit over 10 years, yeah. That's what you need. You need that.
That's right.
They got the full enthusiasm with a million ideas.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that we don't stop the younger generation bringing their ideas in.
That's right.
The moment you stop the younger generation bringing their ideas in, that's when the younger generation just disappears. They go, oh, well, fuck it, you don't want to talk.
That's right.
You don't want to listen to us. Well, we'll just go and do something else.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of that experience.
It's happened to that through our. Well, yeah, me and Mike's experience through the state, everything.
I wouldn't say I wasn't I think I went to national, be part of the national boards from I think it was about 2017, and I stepped back a little bit last year. I'm still involved slightly, I shouldn't say, barely, but being there that long, and I wouldn't say I wasn't listened to, but it's just very hard to get a younger person's opinion across. And one of my main things was we fill out way too much paperwork. It's insane. There's way too much paperwork. Like these days, if you want to try and build the sport, you need to start at the bottom level.
Yep.
And club racer guys, younger people that are just, they've just started work, they've got a bit of money they want to spend, they're still living at home with mum and dad, but they've got a bit of money. We need to get them kind of guys to help build it.
Yep.
If we look at the bottom level, the top will just happen.
Yeah.
If you look after the top, it ends up being too hard for everyone else to get in, and then it's too expensive and whatever else, and they just end up not doing it.
That's exactly right. Like you still got to cater for that budget racer.
Absolutely.
And I've had issues with people before. I don't know whether I should be saying this, but
just don't say names. You can say whatever.
No. It's like
allegedly.
I'm not really a sailboat fan.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not saying anything bad about sailboats. Sailboats have their place at the top echelon.
Yes.
I don't know if I've said it on here, but I've 100%.
Yep.
I think spectaculars sailboats all.
Yeah.
No open deck boats at a spectacular.
But what about the classes, right? So there's been moves afoot to basically, this is a couple of years ago now, they want to sailboat everything. I said, you're going to kill the sport, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, because you've got no starter class.
Yes, exactly.
You need your 4.2s. You need your bloody, that 85 mile an hour. Or you need something down that bottom end as a starter class to get people interested, because a dude is not going to rock up with $100,000 and buy an old, worn-out 6-litre with a cell in it and then go and race, because he's just going to get towed by someone with a new 6-litre. Yeah. And he'll never enjoy himself.
And even if they do, they're most what I'm sort of starting to see in the sport at the moment. Everyone's sort of going, oh, I've got a sailboat. I might as well just build an unlimited engine.
That's right.
So all the classes suffer because they think, well, why would I run in 5-litre or 6-litre with me sailboat? I've got a sailboat that can do unlimited. Why wouldn't I just go straight to the top?
Yeah,
exactly.
Because everyone, whether people like it or not, a bottom rate blown boat driver will be way more well known than a top 5-litre guy.
Yeah.
Because it's just the sport. That's how it is.
The problem with that is you potentially are getting guys that don't really have a great deal of experience, because they've
100%.
come across 200, 300 grand or whatever. They've set themselves up with this, like you say, a sailboat, and they go, well, bugger it, I'll just go and race unlimited. It's like, yeah, but you haven't done 10 years in an open deck boat doing 85, 95 mile an hour or whatever, and learning your craft and, respecting your race boat and learning what you're doing. You've just gone, and within the space of, 10 months, you've gone and put yourself in something that potentially is like extremely dangerous to yourself and your competitors, your fellow competitors. Yep. There's just no, I don't know. It's sort of, irks me a bit.
Yeah, we've spoke about it before.
There's 100%.
The same thing.
I actually spoke to the national president about this exact issue today. I said, I can see where the sport's going. It's aiming towards every single boat having a cockpit.
Yep.
And he said, no, we've capped it at 95 now. And I said, I know that, but this is where it's heading.
That's right.
And I said, as soon as that happens, the sport will drop.
Yeah.
Because there's no catering for the small guy. I said, we want people to basically go and get their Malibu ski boat out and want to try and race the thing at 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You want to cater for
which is back where this sport
really
started
low end.
from.
Yeah,
100%.
Different style of boat, but yes, you're right.
Like just
that's probably not going to happen.
Boat.
That's a bit of an exaggeration. Someone driving.
Yeah, but your social ski boat got you on the track to go out and have some fun.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's like a big shot of adrenaline. You're like, holy shit, this is mad.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go and get a dedicated race boat, but it's only a basic Everingham with a basic engine, and you go out and you're all of a sudden doing 70 mile an hour.
Yeah.
That's sick. All right, well, I've got a bit more money. Let's go and put some more money in it.
Exactly.
I can guarantee you I wouldn't be in a blown boat if I didn't have a 105 boat to go start with, because I would have seen that progression so much further away.
Yeah.
You build the blocks from the bottom.
Yeah.
You don't take your first step's not the top, unless you've got millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars behind you.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that ability.
Yeah.
So you've got to give people the realisation that they can start from the bottom and still have a mad time.
Yeah.
20 years ago, you ask all the top drivers in the classes what got them into boat racing, and if it wasn't like a family thing, like their dad did it, the answer would 100% be, I had really fast ski boats.
Yeah. Exactly.
McCosker said it in an interview.
Yeah.
We had really fast ski boats.
Yep.
So why not race them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Him and Mount McCall were racing. Two of the biggest drivers the country's got were racing their own. They shared a ski boat when they first started racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
And then look at their career from now.
We've lost a little bit of that, I think.
Yeah.
Lost heaps of it. You've lost the club. You've lost the club aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to go to a club day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love seeing. Upper Hawkesbury does a lot of it. I know Bundaberg. I know Bundaberg's an APBA club, but they still have that club aspect. That's a very strong club race boat club, and mate, they're thriving. I know it probably helps. Josh is probably propping up a lot of 3/4 of the boats in that club.
Yeah, he's a super awesome human.
Superman.
Yeah.
Josh, he's helped us out, and I know he's helped you out a lot.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. No, he's awesome.
If Josh is listening to this, you're shit. But if anyone else is listening, Josh is sick. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Like, I know the difference, right? Like, myself, I know the difference in me 4.2 doing like 85 mile an hour, and then when I put the 6 litre in iron nuts and I went and did 105, 106 mile an hour, I was like, holy shit.
It's a big progression.
It's a big progression.
Yeah.
But being an open deck boat, you notice it, and yet you talk to guys who first race a sailboat and they've never raced anything else, and they go, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool."
It's
eh?
whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because they got no feel. You're not getting that wind roaring past your helmet at 105 mile an hour. You're not getting that wind, that water spray when old mate next door hoses you down in the corner. So it's a big progression.
That statement of like the cell changes your perspective.
Yeah.
Racing 105 mile an hour to then jump into the blown boat, it didn't feel like, I felt like I was going slower.
Yeah.
And like I went down to Melton, the thing did stupid speed, and it didn't even feel any different. But you go, when we started, I was doing 85, 95 mile an hour when we first started getting the boat going, and then you do that progression to the 105.
Yeah.
That felt huge. But then you do 145 on a racetrack and you're like, yeah, whatever. The only reason you know is because the bloody gauge said it was...
Yeah, so I can give a little bit of a story about that, but it's like in reverse. So my old man's raced open deck boats for like ever. Used to race against Jeff and that.
Yeah.
And we moved to a sailboat and he started driving a sailboat for a long time, sold his open deck boat. And you know, we're going sailboat racing now. And then he hurt the boat at Windsor at one, I can't remember what year it was, maybe 18, 19, something like that. And he got an opportunity to jump back into a open deck boat, an 18-foot Brucey in the 105 class.
Oh, that's Haymaker.
He built the engine for that boat. That's why. And
Gussie V was...
Yeah. And it wouldn't have made 105, would have did 95 or something like that. And he jumped back in that, and when he got out of that and come back to the bank, he said to me, wow, that's different. He said, that's not what I remember. And he's used to doing, 110, 12.
Yeah.
Open deck boats, blown boats doing 140.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's different. And he's only doing 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the first time we jumped in that? Wasn't Tari?
No, it was
second
Windsor.
time.
It was Windsor, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So what do you reckon your predictions for the NDC? What do you, like the top 3?
Oh, gee, I don't know.
For your round, that is, not for the whole thing.
You got to put Gouchy up there, definitely. You'd have to put Connor Patterson up there somewhere, and you'd have to put the Ramsey crew up there somewhere. You'd have to
take with Brett's boat.
I'd say so. Yeah. But I don't know.
It's
You couldn't put a number on any one of them because it's just like. There's just nothing in it.
They're bloody quick boats.
Yeah, and there's nothing in either of them. Like they're just,
I think being that different sort of track, I'd probably lean a little more towards someone that's been there, being experienced in that.
Gouchy's been there, because he's run blown lights
100%. And even like the Odin boys, they're up
there. They did well around that track
with that boat.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'd be pushing for a shorter boat, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon you're right because it is. Yeah.
The 21 run, they run a fair bit whilst I raced against them up there.
Yeah.
And they were pretty wide.
Yeah.
Just to keep, they obviously just kept in the speed.
And they were pretty new at that point too.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And you look at Mark. Like Mark knows how to hug a buoy.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're on the money there. Gouchy would be my favourite up there.
And that thing's cracking too.
Yeah, it's cracking.
Going so well.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, you and your brother, Dave Arthy, you guys have started building race boats together.
Yeah. So we started a few years ago. Somebody got a couple of moulds going on and building a few. We haven't got our cell builders ticket yet, so we're just building open deck stuff. But
they're all Bruce Everingham moulds, are they?
No, we've got an 18.6 shallow V, Bruce Everingham.
Yep.
And then we've got a Spectra deep V thing, which is like a ski boat type deal.
The 18 Brucey one, is that that same as the Gen 3 boat?
I think it probably would be.
Yeah. Where the clinkers run straight up, not round to the eye bolt.
Yeah,
The reverse clinker.
I think Craig Lewis has the round.
Yeah, Craig's 18'6" has got more clinkers in it too. It's different design.
Yeah, I think the one
so
that
it
runs around.
you watch it run, look at the eye bolt. The Gen 3 boat, the reverse clinker runs straight up the boat to the top of the deck.
Too.
They all direct towards the eye
And then
bolt.
the newer
Correct.
Brucey ones run around arch to the eye bolt.
Yeah. So it does run straight up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, it's one of his original molds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we bought that from a guy in Melbourne who said that he built 15 boats, but it's
Doesn't look like it.
nah. No, it had been sitting under his house for bloody 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, took us a month just to clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's what it is.
So, building race boats,
Yep.
you boys are building race boats together. What are the things you didn't expect that you would learn?
Oh, yeah, you learn by the school of hard knocks,
Yeah.
Like
I've always used the saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't matter what you're doing in life.
Yeah.
It just comes and you're like, holy shit, I didn't expect that.
when we did our fiberglass boat builders course, you know, like it was one of the things that Alice, the teacher, sort of saying, he said, there's no shortcuts. And the amount of times you make a mistake and you just go, oh, Alistair said, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
You idiot. You know? And it's just like, you just did a shortcut and it just bit you on the arse.
You think, oh, she'll be right. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah, yeah, and it always amazes me, like the amount of Davey's the one that controls the business side of it, as far as like anyone who wants to ask a question, he's the face of it, you know, because I got my own shit to do, but so he's the face of that side of things, and the amount of people that message him on Facebook or ring him or whatever. And it's like, oh, how much for a boat or whatever? And you tell them a price. And they go, oh, I just built one myself. It's like, yeah, you go do that, mate.
Yeah.
You go do that. Like, it's never going to happen. And
You get those kind of people in any kind of business, It's just the wanker that thinks they can do it cheaper and better than you.
Yep.
And show back up your doorstep. Oh, then you need to fix
Can
this
you
for
help
me?
me fix this?
Yeah,
no, mate,
yeah.
I'll make you a new one, but I'm not helping you fix that shit heap.
Yeah. And we got to get more proactive too, like as a boat racing community. We've got to get more proactive and get more new boats out there.
Well, you're slowly getting less and less.
We are.
Boat builders, basically.
That's right. Yeah, we are getting less and less.
Our
Yeah.
boats are getting older and older.
Yeah.
And the builders aren't
Yeah.
progressive. Like the new builders aren't coming through.
Yeah.
It's old river rat style.
Yeah. And I do
Work where I want to work.
I do get concerned too with some of the builds that are coming through, like some of the speeds that some of the boats are doing, and some of the builds, like, they're getting light. They're getting light. I'm not a great big fan of light boats.
Yeah, not a fan
And
of
neither's younger brother Davey. Like, we just have this thing that, I know light boats are fast. Yes, because they're fast, because they're lighter.
Yeah,
But they're only fast until they break.
yeah,
And then they're not fast at all.
that's right.
Yeah.
You got to pick where you run them to.
Yeah.
You run them at Windsor, or
Yeah.
say push Taree, because it's still,
At some
still
point
sort
there,
of a river.
someone needs kind of like a little bit of an engineering thought into
There is no,
building
that's
the boats.
exactly
Yeah.
right. There's no engineering thought.
No.
There's no minimum standard. And what
Exactly.
concerns me in the industry is if something catastrophic happens and then someone steps in, like from a government point of view, and says, oh, well, the reason why this happened is because this boat was built too light, right? That could have huge ramifications to our
That's right.
sport.
Yeah. The thing is, you need a ticket to build the cell.
Yeah.
We had
But
this
you-
conversation with someone today, didn't
Yeah. It's a ticket to build the cell. You don't need a ticket to build the boat.
Yep.
we? You could
You're sitting
essentially
in the boat.
You could essentially make your boat out of paper mache if you wanted to.
Yep, exactly.
There's no requirement.
Yeah, yeah. So we've never been big fans of light boats. It's always and all our stuff's hand laid. So it's
So the light boats didn't come into it until the vac bagging, and
yeah.
which they're stronger and they're lighter regardless, because you're not using as much resin, because you're not rolling it in and making sure all the air's out of it.
yeah.
You can make light boats that are strong, but like I said, you need like an engineer to look at it and go, yep, we need to use this glass,
works, yeah.
this amount of that glass, and then the boats will become really, really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And you probably won't sell too many of them.
Yeah.
But there's no R&D in it going, yes, this works, that doesn't work. Okay, we'll run that boat and then we'll pull it apart and check it. And
That's right. And how many boats have you seen that have had an issue, and then that owner actually goes through and says, "Why did this fail? Let's look at it and let's make sure that this never happens again."
Yeah.
Right? They don't. They just go, "Oh, quick, let's patch it up."
Yeah.
We've got another race in 3 weeks' time.
Did it fail because you've just gone and run 3 laps behind a GP hydro?
Yeah.
Or did it fail because the boat was not built right? Like, it could have just been that it's just gone smashed through a whole heap of holes in the river.
Yep.
Or the lake or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that the boat was built badly. It was just that the track was really rough.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to know that too. You got to include that, which means that the owners of the boats have got to actually decide whether they should be taking their race boat to certain venues.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the venues are the problem. I'm saying that the boats, if you want to run a race boat, a light race boat, yeah, cool, but you can't run it everywhere.
Yeah. Stick to a river.
well, there is people that do that
But you know,
with the aircrafts and stuff.
The biggest issue I have with that, though, is that's all well and good while you own the boat and that's your decision and
then
you
you
do
sell
that.
it on, yeah.
But then you go and sell it on to someone else and they decide that, no, she'll be right, mate.
Yeah.
I'll run this everywhere.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, and next minute, you got a boat upside down and it's split in half.
Yeah.
And you got a dude struggling to get air.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just not a fan.
Yeah. You know, I know that our boat was built by... So Dave Carroll ordered our boat from Malcolm and told Malcolm to build it to go to war.
Yeah.
So that means I know that our boat's pretty strong, and so is Michael's. His boat's pretty solid.
Yeah.
We're confident that
His
we can
boat's
go
built to go to fucking 4 walls.
we can go rapid racing.
One of our good mates, Simon Troy, calls it the aircraft carrier. we were driving it out to Dargle the other week to give it a test run, and Simon's drove past on the other way, and he rang me, and I didn't realise he'd driven past. And I said, "Oh, hey, what are you up to?" While we're in the car driving, he said, "I'm requesting permission to land on the aircraft carrier." Because it's a heavy boat. It'll suit good water like Yarrawonga.
But we built a Spectra, right? And like we basically used like a whole 205 litre drum of resin.
Yep.
And the guy that we're building it for, he's going, "Oh, you use too much resin. Oh, it's too bloody heavy." And it's like, yeah, but it won't break, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Give me a call in 20 years when it's
That's
all
right.
together.
And it's a freaking ski boat. Like, if you want to ski race it, go, fine, ski race it. Do whatever you want, right? I know in my own brain it's not going to break.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
Still confident in the
I'm
build
confident,
you've done.
100% in my build that it's not going to break.
Yeah.
So, you know, so what? We used a whole 205 of resin. And he reckons, should have only used like 140 litres, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, we didn't.
Why didn't you build it, dude?
Yeah, that's true. It's
You're
like,
the one building the boat, so you guys make the call.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought we'd finish off this chat. It's been a good chat with your favourite racing stories. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously, we love boats, but it doesn't matter if it's boats or cars or something. But what's your memory?
Oh, my favourite racing story. Okay, I'm a truck guy, right? So
Truck racing?
Yeah. So truck racing at Oran Park. That's my favourite all-time story.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. So we had one of the Mustangs, plus we had the XY down at Oran Park, and it was we were on the power tour. So they had Group NC, or it was Group N, so all NA, NB, NC cars, and then there was V8 Utes, sports sedans, and truck racing. Like that was what the card was, right?
Sounds
for the
like
weekend.
Good old school racing.
And the best racing memory, like I don't even remember how we went with the Mustang. I don't remember that part of it. Like it was just like whatever. Because my favourite part of the weekend was Buddy Cricky in the truck when he won, and he comes up to that bloody top corner because our pits were right behind the fence. And he comes up to that top corner and he just lays donuts in this truck. And he just went round and round. And you could not see a freaking thing, man. Like it was
everywhere.
It was just grey everywhere. There was just no vision whatsoever, right? And then he pulls up and you hear the air brakes come on And then you just hear the truck just sitting there idling. Rump, 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 rump,
That was
rump,
so
rump,
awesome,
rump.
eh?
Yeah. And by the time the smoke cleared, he's out of the cab and he's standing on the roof with his helmet off, holding his helmet in the air. And we were just like going, fuck yeah! That was awesome. That's just my favourite all-time memory of, like, that was hellish.
So when you say Cameron Cricky, that's Cameron Crick's old man, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bloody awesome.
Oh, it was fantastic, And it was like, we're talking about this at work the other week, and I was like, truck racing's coming to Queensland, it's going to Morgan Park. So I said to my sister, runs the office at work, and I said, we're doing a team building day, so we're going to hire a bus, and we're all going over to Warwick, to Morgan Park. We're watching the truck racing. Absolutely.
That sounds excellent. Yeah. Maybe I can work out a way of getting myself up to Morgan Park as well, because, I've never watched a truck race.
Oh.
I've seen it all on TV, but I've never actually seen it.
Truck racing's cool. Yeah. It is cool. Truck racing at Lakeside was another time when I was working on the Mustang, and they actually... where where the bridge is at Lakeside Raceway.
I've only seen a couple of photos of Lakeside.
They actually pin the bridge off. No one's allowed to walk over the bridge when the truck racing's on. And it's
sooting everywhere.
No, I think they're worried that one of them might get loose and hit the bridge. Right. So because those things will move. They will move a 13-ton block of concrete. They move, and they move them regularly. So they're not scared about it. But so and it's just you're sitting there in the paddock and these things are roaring past you. They only their top speed's 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, they're not big.
They're speed limited at 100 mile an hour because of that reason. Because if they get loose, then how do you stop something that weighs 8 ton? It's doing 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
you're not dealing with a 800 kilo race boat.
No.
Yeah. So that's
Lakeside sounds like a
Lakeside's
cool
pretty
venue.
cool too.
Yeah.
But
Well, thank you very much for coming in, Stu.
All right, thanks for having me.
I hope you've had a good time, and
thanks a lot. And looking forward to Laidley.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys up there.
We will
We'll be
hopefully
there.
have a race.
We'll hit some of these Sam Booker shots.
Unfortunately, Stuart's brought some Booker shots.
And you'd be nice to know that Michael's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Michael's the one that's
I like that too.
Yeah.
It's rough as fuck.
I think I hesitated more than you, and I didn't even have one.
They are delicious, but the hit.
That's mother's milk, mate.
It's definitely not. I've had it.
All right, thanks for destroying our stomachs.
All right.
Thanks a lot for coming along.
Good
See
luck.
you up at Laidley.
Good luck up at Laidley.